I once heard that most people only buy books that their communities make it impossible for them to ignore. For a lot of people, I think that's true, but there's also something magical about finding an author who no one else has read, someone who's writing in a language that you thought only you could hear. For me, one of those authors is Leonard Michaels. Leonard Michaels did publish two novels, but he is mostly known for the short stories and journal entries in this collection, the collected stories of Leonard Michaels. He's famous for two things. One is the sheer musicality of his sentences. Everything he wrote, every paragraph, he went back to and crafted so that it was a joy to read out loud. You didn't like my story, did you? That's how it is with me. I thrash in a murk of days, but look, have pity, take off your socks. I'm skinny and nervous and finicky. I can't tell you stories. I have problems with sublimity. I'm not Kafka. That night in a dream, I met Kafka. The other thing that he's famous for is the way that he externalizes violence. There's a lot of violence in his stories, and it's not meant to be taken literally. The people are still standing and walking and even friends after it occurs. But it's also not written as if it's a metaphor. It's written as if these inner feelings we have are actually being acted out in the world. Whirling, suddenly I was out the door. Henry gasped and followed, tearing for a grip on the back of my head. We went down the night, Henry ripping out fists of my flying hair and jamming them into his mouth so he might choke. The night became day and day night. These a week, the week a month. My hair was soon gone from the back of my head. When it grew in, he ripped it out again. The wind lacerated our faces and tore the clothes off our bodies. Occasionally I heard him scream, I have a gun, shoot me, or a rope, strangle me. I had a step on him always, and I ran on powerful legs. Over the running years, they grew more powerful. They stretched and swelled to the size of trees while my body shrank and my head descended. At last my arms disappeared, and I was ahead on legs, running. Because of these two things, these stories, which are mostly about just relationships between men and women, men and their friends, mostly in New York in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, just take on this mythic quality. Leonard Michaels, someone who I go to again and again to get inspired about the power of the English language. And then, because I will apparently buy anything with a black and white picture of the author on the cover, I bought the book Berg by Anne Quin. Anne Quin was an author in the 60s. She only published 4 short novels before she passed away tragically very young. Berg was her first book, and it's the story of a man who hears that the father who abandoned him might be living in this seaside town with a new girlfriend. And so Berg goes to this town, planning to kill the father that abandoned him. This book is rich with layers of emotional meaning. Berg tries to connect with his father's girlfriend, and with a dummy that his father, who has become a ventriloquist, you can see where that's going, is carrying around with him. But what really resonated with me was a couple of other things. First of all, this book is very much about dislocation or about just the amazement at the ways people interact to each other. In fact, sometimes it seems that Quin was actually querying her own characters. Never get a girl into trouble, Allie, will you? If your father was still with us, he'd soon tell you. It's not worth it, Allie. I know. What did she know? Wouldn't she look so pale? Eyes dimming, you, almost an enemy for a moment. It's almost like Quin is reaching through the pages to ask Berg why he's doing the things he's doing. And second, the way Quin describes different settings is just so beautiful and so unique. It has metaphors and descriptions I've never heard anywhere else. Cafe lights tinseled round the windows. Inside red bulbs were hearts cut against a perspiring ceiling. A whale's stomach, about to expand, appeared to tremble as Berg entered. Surrounded by the smell of half-cooked vegetables, behind the counter, a girl with a twisted safety pin face served tea or coffee. I mean, a safety pin face? What is that? I don't know, but it's a joy to imagine these things, try to see the world through Quin's eyes. So if you're planning on trying to find an author that speaks to you, someone a little bit off the mainstream, there's 2 ideas. And if you're looking for a book that no one else has read, check out my novel, The Nihilisticats. The Nihilisticats take place in a world where a massive hack has exposed the identity of every American. Privacy is just gone. And so the American government makes everybody an offer. You can start over, pick a new identity, and in return you get a clean phone, a new social security number, and a new chance to restart your life. But that setting is only the background. for a mix of characters who are exploring their identities, trying to figure out their love lives, and discovering a ton of conspiracies, governmental, cyber, criminal, and corporate alike. This is a book about right now. It's only in print, so the bots don't get it, and it's only on Amazon. Also, I got some questions about the sweatshirt that I was wearing the last one. This is actually from a line of sweatshirts that was inspired by the nihilistic hats. The narrative doesn't fit the facts is one of the ongoing themes of the book. It's got the little nihilistic hats logo there. If you want to get one for yourself, they're on my site, ingwalson.com. Click the shop button. They're perfect for your next protest march or wandering around America searching for signs that we're all living in a simulation. Thanks for watching.